Good evening. Hello. My name is Amar Chopra and I am one of the members of the Chicago Guruji SANGAT, and I want to present to you a wonderful article written by a devotee of Guruji called Rashmi Sehgal, and she wrote this article way back in 2007, I believe. And the reason why I am bringing this article to you is that with a lot of difficulty I could find it first, and there is such little information about Guruji. So all the new people who are here in Chicago Sangat or anywhere else, I want to bring to you whatever little knowledge I can find about Guruji and present to you, so you can know more about our Maharaj, because we know very little. His life was very, very full of mystique. So here is, I'm in some parts I'm going to be bringing you whatever information I find about Guruji, both in the book form or from the internet or any other sources I can get my hands on. So let me recite to you this wonderful article by Rashmi Sehgal, who was a devout devotee herself of Guruji, and she observed him very closely. And so let's just go with it. Let's listen to it. Rashmi Sehgal, a devotee, looks back on the exceptional love, acceptance and protection exuded by Guruji Nirmal. Guruji Nirmal had a following that included Sharad Pawar, Amar Singh, Murli Manohar Joshi and a host of other politicians, and also Delhi's who's who. Yet he remained one of the most private and little known of spiritual preceptors in the capital. He had no ashram, having built only a small Shiv Mandir where devotees gathered for his birthday, Baisakhi and Shivratri. Guruji was a well-built and burly man with strong features. He had a shaved head. He was a handsome man with great personal charm. He was remarkably inclusive and open. He allowed devotees to cluster around him, touch his feet and knees, or even drop a kiss on his head, as one American was very fond of doing. When Guruji left us in his physical form at the end of the May in 2000, he left many of us orphaned, but it also compelled us to record for posterity his unique nature and come to terms with his mystique. Little is known about his early life. That he was born to a humble farmer's family in Dugri, a village in Maler Kotla district in Punjab. He moved to Delhi about a decade ago, and devotees immediately started talking about the miracles he performed while he was still in school, such, for instance, filling up an empty inkstand with ink by touching it. Despite being an excellent student both in school and in college, he chose to follow the spiritual path. I often ask myself, what is the legacy Guruji's left behind, and how did he transform our lives in such a comprehensive and meaningful manner? The man. Guruji gave no discourses, he wrote no books, he was not interested in creating an organization to perpetuate his name. His persona epitomized goodness, kindness, and benevolent love that permeated the hearts of his devotees. A spiritual powerhouse, his radiant presence in the evening Sangats helped transform the lives of those who attended it. Guruji Sangat met 4 times a week, on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings. It culminated in everyone partaking in Bhandara, which Guruji always referred to it as Prasad. This comprised of rotis, dal, sabzi, and something sweet. For the most time, Guruji spent the entire evening sitting in silence with the Gurbani playing in the background. His devotees, professionals, senior bureaucrats, politicians, the rich and the middle class sat around him, also in silence. Occasionally, he would break his silence by allowing a devotee to come up and sit next to him. Guruji then would exchange a few words with him. He knew exactly what to say to whom, usually in Punjabi, and puckish sense of humor marked these exchanges. As a routine, when he met his devotees in the earlier part of the evening, he would be wearing a brightly colored shirt, black trousers with walking shoes, and would be sitting, legs crossed, on a sideboard kept just outside the kitchen. Dressed in this way, with his head shaved bald, he looked almost like a rock star. But later in the evening, when he came to sit on his special chair, he wore a colorful, brightly embroidered choga with special applique work done around the neck and sleeves and the hem. The Sangat. He personified the spirit of Punjabiyat. It was reflected in his conversation, the shabads that played through the evening, and the patiala shoes which he carried off with such aplomb. Some of his favorite expressions were Aish karo, enjoy yourself, Tera kalyan kita, Tera kalyan ditta, I have blessed you, and practical hona chaida, one should be practical in life. Once he said Tera kalyan kar ditta. It meant that whatever the devotee had sought would be fulfilled. I began attending his Sangat from February 2005. The first thing that struck me was the pains he took to make his devotees feel at ease. It was as though he was trying to emphasize that a life of prayer and devotion was not different from our everyday life. Rather, it should be considered an integral part of it. And the message of the Sangat must allow to permeate every aspect of one's daily routine. Occasionally, he would elaborate on how essential message of all religions was devotion to God and mankind. He once asked a close devotee, General Kapoor and his wife, at 1:30 a.m. in the morning, what they knew about religion. I know nothing about religion. Religion has very little role in the army, General Kapoor replied. Guruji kept quiet, and after a few minutes, he went into a trance and began quoting extensively from several religious scriptures, including Bible, Quran, Granth Sahib, and Bhagavad Gita. When he came out of the trance, he asked Kapoor, "Did you understand the meaning of those verses?" "No, Guruji, I did not understand anything at all," Kapoor declared. Guruji said, "The message of all religions is the same. Remember God at all times. If you can help someone, do so. But if you cannot, don't harm him either. Also, don't ever get so involved in a materialistic world that you do not have time to remember God." Full stop. A great healer, Guruji cured a large number of his people. This was one more way of helping them understand the power of prayer. Sometimes he would allow his devotees who had been cured to speak how they or their close relatives had emerged from near-death experiences. These were precious exchanges and helped reinforce how generous and all-knowing Guruji was. A retired army colonel recounted how Guruji helped cure his son. My son was born deaf, and ever since I could remember, my wife and I were taking him from one ENT specialist to another, but no one could cure him. Finally, one of my friends suggested that we take him to Guruji, who advised me to start putting some badam rogan oil in his ears, which we did for many months. One morning, his ear was covered with fungal infection, spewing out of the ear. I immediately spoke to Guruji and told him what had happened. He advised me to take him to an ENT specialist, which we did. The minute the doctor began removing the fungal growth, the boy felt giddy and he fainted and he fell on the ground. The same thing happened the next morning. He said he fainted because he found the sound of his ears being cleaned very, very loudly. When he returned home, he heard the words of his mother talking to him, and these were the first words he had heard in the 16 years of his life. At another time, a Patiala-based college lecturer recounted how some relatives had tried to poison her in order to inherit her property. The poison was so strong that her skin turned black, and she became bloated and obese. Since she was not getting any better, a friend suggested that she visited Guruji. When she arrived at his darbar and sat in one corner, Guruji did not say anything except that she must attend the Sangat for 1 month at a stretch and not leave without eating the langar. And strangely enough, 1 month later, she began to feel better, and she shed all the extra weight she had put on, and her skin still though remained dark. One evening out of the blue, Guruji asked her what cream was she using in order to become fair. "Bring the cream bottle to me you're using when you visit me next time," he ordered her. She did as she was told. Guruji then asked her to apply the same cream on his feet. To her delight, she found herself returning to her original complexion. A guru gives you his strength, he gives you his love, and the most important, he gives you his protection. Guruji told the Sangat. The protection. The cures Guruji offered were simple, almost like homespun remedies. Cover a wound with pan ka patta, buy chana and gur and offer it to Hanuman temple. Wear a Om pendant which was blessed by him. However simple these remedies may appear, the fact that he had blessed the devotee had prescribed them seemed to make all the difference, because patients who had tried every other treatment and had failed would invariably get cured by him. Guruji would say, pray and give time to God to effect a cure. He would sometimes tell his devotees, healing and curing must be preceded by a change of attitude. The attitudinal changes come out when we understand there is a moral world that rules this planet, and this moral order is interwoven with the laws of nature. Nothing that happens on his earth happens in a random fashion. Guruji would listen to those anecdotes with a smile on his face. It was not as though he was taking any personal credit for these experiences. He would say that whatever happened did so because of the grace of God. One day a young girl spoke how she had developed a very painful kind of skin cancer and the doctors had given her only a few days to live. Again, she was told to visit Guruji consecutively for an entire month and partake in the langar, which he considered to be a prasad. She did so, and her body miraculously began to heal, and she got totally cured. She grew so confident of her relationship with the Guru that she stopped lighting the jyot in her temple. One day she tried lighting the jyot. Despite several attempts, it did not light. Frustrated, she threw the matchstick down and began to cry. "Guruji has abandoned me," she cried. When she came out of a bath, she found the jyot had lit on its own accord, like magic. It was then she realized that the Guru never forsakes you, never leaves you stranded, and we should never ever forsake our Guru. At a personal level, I started attending Guruji's Sangat a little before my husband Anil was found suffering from cancer. Guruji visited the house of photographer Raghu Rai and his wife Meeta Rai. When I came to seek Guruji's blessings, he indicated to me that I should start attending the Sangat. He obviously knew that I was going to go through a difficult time and he would help me get through this period. His words proved prophetic because this turned out to be one of the most turbulent times in my life. Not once did Guruji tell me that Anil would be cured. Though I knew he had cured several cancer patients, He just extended his love and made sure that my husband did not have to suffer physically. Rather, it was a period when the whole family came together to help him through his difficult time. When I would visit Guruji during the crisis, I would keep asking myself the question, who is a guru and why does he have so much importance in our life? The answers to this question came slowly to me. It dawned on me that a guru is someone who helps us understand our essential reality. The guru is not bound by a physical body, and therefore he is always more than a mere physical teacher. The guru is the vital force that creates and sustains and infuses the whole universe. The guru principle or guru tattva is the universal power of consciousness that gives rise to and supports the universe. I also came to realize that a guru and his disciple share a unique relationship grounded in a powerful union of love. Often one hears a devotee that he has fallen in love with the guru. This basically means that he has discovered a boundless foundation of love in his heart. And the guru-disciple relationship allows him to express that love unconditionally. The guru is one who can awaken the transformative spiritual energy that resides deep within our own being. A guru operates from a space of complete freedom. It is for this reason that Guruji would tell his devotees, "Nobody is close to me and nobody is further away from me. Nobody is old for me and no one is new to me." Guruji advice was sought at many levels. Devotees consulted him when their children had to be married, for their business or job-related problems, or if they were facing health or domestic problems. There was no issue in which he was not consulted. He gave his advice or an upay that would provide a solution, and his advice invariably turned out to be correct. A guru makes you become compatible with your own limited self, but he also makes you realize that devotees need to be born to one another to ensure the spirit of Sangat can come alive. Today, it is on this Sangat that we must lean in order to survive the sudden loss of the great Guru. Guruji liked people to live in families. Human beings need families to sustain them, he used to say. He called his Sangat his family. A family is truly happy when the members sit together and chant the name of God. His words ring true through our hearts as we thank this wonderful being who helped us through the tough times in our lives. Thank you, Guruji. So this was an article by Rashmi Sehgal in 2007. And as we can see that Rashmi has put her spirit in this article, and she has also given her own perspective on Guruji. Now, there are some people out there which will like this perspective. Some people will love this perspective, and some people may not agree with this perspective. But let's also keep in mind that Rashmi was also loved by Guruji, just like all of us. So I thank Rashmi for writing this wonderful article, and in case I have not given her enough credit for this, I give her credit again that she spent quality time, and unfortunately I could not find an audio recording of Rashmi, and with the times changing and YouTube coming now, as this article is really old, 2007, so it's about 7-8 years old, when YouTube was not mainstream and there was no way of making audio or video come alive like this, or even if it was very limited. So unfortunately we would have loved to hear that in her voice, but I don't know where she is and what she's doing now. But I thank her for writing this wonderful article, and I thank you all for hearing me chant the name of our Lord Guruji. Thank you so much, and I love you all, and please come to our Sangat in Chicago. It is a Sangat full of love. We lean on each other, we help each other, and we all take the blessings of our great Maharaj together. So please come for this Sangat, and you will experience miracles in your life. Thank you so much once again, and I love you all. Thank you.